Morning, Mark.
How are you, Steve?
I am well.
Good. It's time for Ascension at Prayer. We're looking at the hymn of the day for the third Sunday in Lent.
Yeah.
I think.
It's going fast.
Yeah. Well, so did February. It tends to do that.
It does. You know what Lent means?
No.
Nobody does. It means spring. It means spring.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, positive.
All right.
That's why it goes so fast. Best time of the year.
You know what's an oxymoron?
What?
It's fast.
Okay.
All right, let's look at the hymn.
May God bestow on us His grace, please.
Yes, exactly. So,
LSB 823.
no, 824.
Oh, there's two.
There are. It's a buy
Hey.
one, get one free sale in the hymnal. No, we're going to do 824, which is a newer composition by David Lee.
Why this one and not the other one?
You know, I like this one a little bit better. It has a better flowing melody. It's a little easier to sing. There's more grace in the composition that allows us to sing it. It's just a little bit easier to sing. And it's a nice tune, too. I like recognizing when composers come out with something new that pairs with something old. Kind of a neat juxtaposition of the two. So there you go.
So receiving grace, sometimes it makes a difference how you go about it, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, so the lesson for this week, right, is Jesus clearing the temple. And I remember as a kid in Sunday school, we would always watch these animated videos of the New Testament on VHS. And I remember, Jesus is always just very peaceful, very calm. The Pharisees and the Sadducees are the evil ones that kind of, those are the evil ones. But then I remember very distinctly when we got to this lesson, we saw the animators had made Jesus get really upset and like throw these tables over, and the pigeons were flying everywhere and coins and everything. And it was like, all your expectations and hope of Jesus are dashed. But looking at it from the perspective, sort of through the lens or the filter of this hymn, it really makes you aware of the fact that grace is not something that we should be taking for granted. There's still an expectation, I guess, or a responsibility maybe that Christians have. Just because God's given us His grace through Jesus, it doesn't mean that we can just sort of say, okay, thanks Jesus, I'll see you when I die. I know I'm saved, so I don't need to live my life in a way that, so on and so forth.
I think you're onto it. I mean, so may God bestow on us His grace. So we're asking, why are we in church every Sunday if we've already got His grace, right?
Sure.
Jesus already died for us, we're already saved. Why do we have to keep going over it again? Well, it's interesting in all the phraseology that we use in church. It's all sort of, I'm going to lapse on my grammar. Sorry, Mr. Torreson, whoever taught, all you teachers who work so hard to try to teach me declensions and stuff. But the verbiage is always, may the Lord be with you, right?
Right.
We're always reminding each other. We're always exclaiming. We're proclaiming this reality. Why? Because unless we do, it's not the reality, right?
Sure.
It's a word that's come into the world. The Word was made flesh in Jesus. The Word, God's Word, is remaking the world. But what's Luther's famous explanation? Let it be done among us also.
Right.
God's kingdom will certainly come. That part's out of our hands. But may it come among us also.
Yeah. And Lent is a great time to be thinking about that kind of stuff, where we are reminded of God's grace for us in sort of a more penitential way.
Absolutely.
I think this is a very appropriate time to be singing this and to be focusing on that specific story.
So that story is about the temple, and the lesson
Right.
the lesson at the end is Jesus is the temple.
Right. Yeah. In
Right.
3 days, I will raise this temple up.
Right.
Well, we've spent 40,000 years building this temple. See, there's those Pharisees again. That's how they talk.
And so, what's your temple about? Right? Is your temple, may God bestow on us His grace? Is that what you go around telling people, pointing people toward? Or does your temple get kind of filled with money changers? Right? So this is the temple of Mark, and sometimes up in my head, right, there's the money changers are there, counting stuff.
Right. Worrying about the stuff that doesn't matter.
Right.
Or the stuff that destroys you.
So may God's name be hallowed, may His kingdom come among us also. Maybe this is I think this is where we'll go in the sermon, but every city in the ancient Near East had at the top of it a temple.
Okay.
And at the top of Jerusalem was the temple to the Lord, who's the gracious God, right? Who loved people, who made the world, and it all works together just fine before man comes along, and then we have a tendency to screw stuff up. At the top of another temple, or another city like Babylon, right, there was a temple to Marduk, who was all about kind of sex, drugs, money, right, human offerings, get ahead,
right.
Use power as often as possible. So again, God's going to win in the end, right? His grace is what wins. We have it. It's already in the world. There's no changing that. But is it going to come among us also? May God bestow on us His grace. We got to say this over and over again. We got to sing this over and over again.
We do, absolutely. So we'll sing it with you on Sunday. Check it out here on the YouTube channel. You'll get a little sneak peek of it and get to sing along with us as we prepare for Sunday worship.
May the Lord be with you.
And also with you.